So on, this morning I want to do a little experiment. What I would like to do is show my students and friends in Taiwan how I create these little books that I write. It's really quite easy, and I want to show you how I do it. So I've set a camera up facing my screen and another one for myself, and I've got the software up. And I've got the software from Blurb, B-L-U-R-B. It is called Book Smart. Book Smart. And it is free software that you can get from, just to download it. You can download it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, start a new book. And I will simply, I have a choice. I can make different kinds, but I'm going to make a simple one. One of those that are less expensive. Just a black and white book. It'll have color on the covers. And when I do this, I just keep following the directions. They are in English, but here it says add book title here. So maybe I will say I want to write on my favorite Zen sayings. And then down here it asks for the name of the author who is writing it. And I can write in Michael Dishto. Now I can change, like you do with a word processor, I can change the size of my name to make it smaller so that it isn't bigger than my title. And then it says drag image here. I can bring a picture in. So I can say get photos. When I say get photos, I can go to my computer and I can look in my computer and let's see, here's one that I had from Taiwan that I like. Let's open that one up. Let's just see, we can't bring it over and drop it in there. Yeah, so I just brought in a picture that I had in my computer from Taiwan. Okay. Maybe I think, well, you know, I'm not so sure. Maybe I want this one that I took in a temple. So I bring in that one. It was in the Daoist temple. And now I look back up and I say, well, I've got to change the color on my title or we won't be able to see it. So I change it to white. And then I make it bold. And I can go down and do the same with my name. I can go down and I can change that to a bold. And I can make it white. And now it shows up there. I can also move these things around. I can change where I want my name. I could put it in the center of that box. I could make it in the center going down. And Michael Dishto shows up pretty good there. I could do the same with this. I've got choices. I've got it here. I could put it in the middle. And maybe I'll do that. I've got the oxen in the temple in Changhua that I visited. I know this is a Taoist temple, and I'm saying my favorite Zen sayings, but I just wanted to show you how you can take different pictures and bring them in. So I can put whatever pictures I want in there. And then I just go to the next page. Well, I can go, let me go, first of all, I'll back up. I can go to the back cover. And maybe this time, I'll just grab a picture. Here's a picture that I took just from the street. It just shows a street in Taiwan with automobiles, signs over on the side, just an ordinary street that I took a picture of. And you see I can put that on the back. So I could put that on the back. If I wanted to have the oxen, I could have that on the front. And then I can, as I go ahead, some of these are put in for me. Okay, now I say here, it says who's the author of the book. So I actually just changed it that it was written in 2012. I put my name as the author. And now I'm going to go to the, here I could put a table of contents, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'll go to the next page, and I'll say, okay, add page, and I'll say, well, I want a one column text. I want somewhere where I can write. And now I can start, and I can say, my favorite Zen saying is, and I might say, cook rice let's say this is different. When cooking rice, realize that the water you boil the rice in is your life. So, just a little thing about it, you know, rice and water, food and liquid, life. So, I can write that in. And I'll say that on the next page, I decide I wanted to, I'll add a page here. I'll say, let's see, this time I want a picture page. And I can go over here at different kind of picture layouts. Here's one. Maybe I'll do one like this. It's a little different. Get picture, my computer. This time I'll take back that one I had of the students. Boom. There's that picture of Grandpa Mike with the students. And I could write Grandpa Mike and students at the top. Apply it to this page, and there I would have it. So, and I can make that bigger so that people can see it. I didn't make it bigger, but I could make it quite a bit bigger. I can increase it to a larger size. Make it bold. So, you see, I can do what I want. I can put any picture, I can put any writing. And if I want to do, I can write also doing Chinese. I'll put this down on my desktop. I will go to my Google Translator. And what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to take, say, my name is Grandpa, that's spelled right. Grandpa Mike. And I translated it over here into traditional Chinese. So I'm going to copy that. Copy it. So I've got that copied. Now I'm going to put this back down on my desktop. Now I'm going to bring back up my Booksmart. And on this page, I'm going to paste in what I just said. And what you see happen is that all of a sudden I've got Chinese writing in there. And I don't know how big I can make that. Well, that's big enough that perhaps you can see it. But you see, here's the Grandpa Mike down here. And so what I'm trying to point out is that you can write, if you have a keyboard that supports Chinese characters, you can write a book and put in Chinese characters. You do not have to do it in English. It's very easy. You simply download the software called Booksmart, and you use your computer, and whatever pictures you have in your computer you may use. You can design a little book very quickly. It's a wonderful, wonderful exercise in learning how to write. And for instance, a class could do a class project. That's what I talk to them about at DeSoto, middle school and high school. I say, why don't you do a class project? Why don't you have your students each write a short little story and then take them and put them into a blurb book? Now, a little book like this, the little ones I have been sending to my friends recently are very small, and I think I pay $6.95 American for each one. Now, I realize if I send it to Taiwan, it's going to cost me $3 or $4 American to send it. And if the book was larger, it would be more expensive. And if I put colored pictures in the book and made a fancier book, it would cost more money. I might have to pay then maybe 25 American dollars, maybe 35, even 40 American dollars for a very nice book that was longer, had hard covers, and had colored pictures in it. Now, what I want to do at this point, I think you get the idea that it's not hard to do, that you don't have to do it in English, that you could do it in Chinese characters too. I'm going to go away from this, and I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to go and look for the website. So I just brought up Google. Google is my best friend, I always say. And I'm going to write in there blurb, B-L-U-R-B. So I want to find blurb. So I'm going to go to the website, official website of blurb. Okay, and here it is. Blurb, easy to make affordable books. Then it says here, get started. And there's a lot of other information in here. You know, are you ready to start your book? Well, let's say get started. And all of their bookmaking tools are free. You don't pay anything until you ask for a book. And, you know, get started with blurb. Well, they're gonna register, and that's appropriate. And after you register, you're going to get a chance then to, I'll do one here. I'll put additional I'll use my Hotmail address, which I usually don't use for this purpose. And then my username, I will call myself Grandpa Mike. And I'll do it again. Grandpa Mike. So now I put in my Hotmail email address. I put in Grandpa Mike, which I chose as a password. And also as a username. Oh, I can't have I'll just say my username is Grandpa. They didn't like the space in there, so I have to just change it. Well, they didn't like that either. What do they want? Well, I'm going to try something else here. Yukon Herald. Oh, I put in a different password. It didn't like what I had. So, here we go. Here it says download. There's different things you can download, but here's download Blurb Booksmart. So I can just click on this. And I'm not going to do it because I already have Booksmart, but it would say download Blurb Booksmart for PC. So I could simply download it. So let me start again, just right from the beginning. The reason I sat down to do this morning is I thought, you know, the students in Taiwan could easily make a little book. It would be a good experience, a wonderful class project. They could make a little book for themselves. They could get one for relatively inexpensively. You could make a little book, get the inexpensive one, make it very small. It would have colored a cover back, and maybe you could put in 15 or 20 pages of writing and maybe some black and white photos. If you put a photo in these cheaper books, they'll be black and white. And then it would cost you $6.95 approximately American dollars to buy the book. And if it were being sent to Taiwan, I'm sure it's $4 or $5. When I send one of my small ones to Taiwan, I think it's costing me $4 and some cents in American dollars. So let's say that's, 300, 400 NTC, or New Taiwan dollars, NT dollars. Not too expensive. Now, if a class wanted to work as a project, you could make a bigger book. The teacher could perhaps be the director and help the students, and you could put one together, again, using Chinese characters. Or if you wanted to do some English, you could do some English too, or you could do both. Sometimes when I'm doing one, if I have a saying that I like in English, I might look up the translation in traditional Chinese and add that, just to see. Sometimes the translations are good, sometimes they're not, but you could do both. You can pretty much make your own design. I think it's a really worthwhile project, and I would encourage both students and their teachers to consider maybe doing something like this. I'm sure there are other websites that will allow you to do this. Blurb is probably only one of many. Blurb is quite good. I know because I've been using it for several years. So that is why I use Blurb as my example. Well, that's all for this morning. Goodbye. 小远, goodbye, and we'll see you another morning. So, Shishi, thank you for watching.